Sean O'Malley was brutally exposed as an industry plant at UFC 316 by Merab Dvalishvili. But that's not the only problem. We already know he's getting preferential treatment by the UFC. We already know that he's getting Dana White privilege. And he's getting gifted an undeserved title shot rematch against Merab after getting dominated at UFC Noche. But the real major problem is Sean O'Malley has surrounded himself with nothing but yes men. And we are going to check out the most recent podcast that Sean O'Malley dropped, where he's on there with his head coach, Tim Welch. He's on there with his boy, Schmitty. And they're like, yeah, man, you almost had Merab that second round. You really showed how much better you've gotten. And it's nothing more than delusional cope. The same delusional cope we saw after the first fight against Merab, which I believe in a way set Sean O'Malley up for failure in the rematch. We're going to check it all out in this video. The first thing I want to start with is an older interview of Tim Welch with Brett Okamoto, or I think this is Brett Okamoto. I'm not 100% sure. It's some dude who resembles Brett Okamoto, potentially being held hostage in the Middle East. I can't tell because of the camera quality. But I just want to show you their mindset heading into this rematch. This is like almost like maybe a week or two after the initial fight at UFC Noche. And just listen to, first off, Brett Okamoto, you can tell he's a clear fanboy of Sean O'Malley. He's kind of subliminally making excuses for O'Malley. And then listen to Tim's response, man. He's acting like Sean almost beat Merab in the first fight. And my question is, if you're surrounded by this, and you're told, man, you almost had Merab. They acted like he almost had Merab in the most recent fight, which we're going to get to in a second. They also said some delusional things about Umar Nurmagomedov, which Sean O'Malley laughably just shut his mouth completely, but we'll get to that in a second. But listen to this. Is this what you want to hear from your head coach really going into a rematch with the guy who just dominated you? Listen to this.
We'll come out and say dominant. Like Merab dominated O'Malley, exposed O'Malley. What is your reaction to that kind of sentiment that Sean was a little bit exposed or that he got dominated by this guy?
Literally, Brett Okamoto is asking it as like being dismissive of it. Like, dude, what a shill this guy is.
I mean, on 2 of the judges' scorecards, he won round 3 and 5 against the cardio machine, and he had him hurt in round 5, like seriously hurt, where he could have damn near put him away in round 5.
That is a massive over-exaggeration. And also, if you believe this, right, not only are you delusional, but also, is this guy going to be the guy to set you up for success in a rematch? Because if you believe, oh, well, he won two rounds on the judges' scorecards and he almost had him out of there, is that the guy that's going to set you up to win the rematch? If you're not saying, look, Merab's way better than us. Merab did us dirty. Merab out-grappled us. Merab outstruck us. Merab dominated us. He pushed the pace. We landed a lucky teep kick. I'm not expecting him to say all this, but at least acknowledge it, because if you don't acknowledge it, how are you supposed to get better? If Brett Okamoto doesn't acknowledge the fact that his camera quality is 480p, how is he ever going to upgrade to 1080p? It's just simply not going to happen. And he's asked about him being dominated, which he says, oh, well, positionally he dominated. But his first response is, we won 2 rounds. We hurt him in the 5th. We almost put him away. Give us a participation trophy. What a joke this is.
Hated by this guy.
I mean, on 2 of the judges' scorecards, he won round 3 and 5 against the cardio machine, and he had him hurt in round 5, like seriously hurt, where he could have damn near put him away in round 5. So, I mean,
so he almost could have had him away. I'm not even going to listen to the rest of that because it's irrelevant. The last thing I want to listen to from this interview is something that has literally drove me nuts since this interview came out. And it shows how desperate they were to beat Merab by any means necessary. He was literally complaining that the referee didn't let Sean O'Malley cheap shot Merab and potentially get a KO. Listen to this.
I'm just kind of curious what you thought of that moment and what went through your head.
It's just annoying when they talk about, he likes to just bring up sportsmanship and, man, this is a professional sport. It's like, dude, you're kissing my buddy's back, trying to smash his face. It's not. And then, well, what kind of,
you're kissing my buddy's back, buddy. So just to give you a little bit of context, okay? Again, this is after the first fight. We're going to get to the podcast in a second. Merab was dominating Sean O'Malley, started kissing his back, and Herb Dean stepped in. The 10-second clapper had already gone off. Herb steps in and says, stop, okay? Merab thinks it's the end of the round. He turns his back, starts to walk away. O'Malley tries to cheap shot him and KO him from behind, and Herb kind of jumps in because he realizes it was his mistake. Tim Welch is mad that Herb stepped in the way because they could have got a cheap shot KO over Merab and then denied him a rematch, is what he's trying to say here. Listen to this.
What made me angry is when he got up, that Herb got in the middle of him. Or even at the beginning of the fight when Merab was having his little spaz out, that Merab got in the middle of him. I didn't know that was in the rules. If you want to freak out and your anxiety is too high, that you can kind of call a timeout and the ref can come in. I didn't know that, but now I do, I guess.
Look, just salty. When he was shouting Merab's name and Merab started talking shit, all of a sudden O'Malley wanted to have his foot on the gas. I mean, this shows the weak-minded nature. Let's cheat our way to a win. Like, why would you want to KO Merab as he had his back turned because he thought the round was over because Herb said stop after the 10-second clapper went off, and you're looking for a cheap shot KO? And then also go back and watch the first round, the very beginning of the first round of the first fight. When Tim is yelling stuff at Merab, Merab is diverted his attention, which that is Merab's fault there. O'Malley all of a sudden wants to put his foot on the gas. Tim is pissed that he didn't have the opportunity to capitalize on those kind of cheap moments in the fight because he does not have the skills to beat Merab, even though supposedly he won 2 rounds. But let's carry on a little bit more.
I think Herb, like I'll give him a little bit of grace for the first round one because I think he just wanted to get in there and nip it in the bud that you guys would stop talking to each other. But you're absolutely right on the second one. He kind of got, and I don't know how much it would have necessarily mattered, but he did kind of get in the way. And if Merab just stands up and lets him up and walks back, then that's not a pause. Like, can you imagine if Sean would have like thrown a head kick or something and that's how the fight would have been?
I mean, I swear if if Herb wouldn't have gotten his way and he could have turned his hips and his shoulders over, he might have KO'd him right there. But
look at them. They're both fantasizing about it. Like, I can honestly say you can take my most disliked fighter, whoever that may be, I don't even know. And could I snap my fingers and they get technically legally KO'd because of a referee mistake when they turn their back? I would not wish that on anybody. That would be an embarrassing way to win. But yet here they are both fantasizing about it. A cheap shot over Merab, but yet they think they're better than Merab. Anyway, one other thing before we actually look at the podcast, which we're going to get to in a second. I just want to show you afterwards the utter delusion. I mean, O'Malley and his entire team were acting like he won. How does that set you up for success in a rematch if you don't acknowledge the other guy was better than you? You are surrounded by nothing but yes men. The UFC is blowing smoke up your ass, acting like you're some mega star because, oh, he smokes weed and he has tattoos. Listen to this. I mean, listen to this.
They could have gave me this. I mean, God, unless the ground and pound is that fucking bad, it could be.
But still, the first 3 minutes of that round.
All him.
3 minutes,
all
over
shot.
half of that round.
Yeah, landing all the shots, damaging shots too. There.
I mean, are these guys are professional dick eaters? Man, all the damaging shot. No, he did not. You could make a case the first fight, 5-0 Merab. One teep kick can arguably not win the 5th round for Sean O'Malley. But here these guys are watching it, acting like Sean won. Let's carry on.
Bro, this first round, there's a minute and a half left.
It didn't start till
I won this
45.
shit. But it still hasn't really hit me with anything, right? Like,
That's where you could pass. That was fucked in.
is that why they gave him the round? Dude, this wasn't tight at all.
No,
I literally won that round. That wasn't even that controversial.
that's why I didn't want to go in there and say you're down by 4 because I'm like, I didn't think he is.
Well, you should have thought he was because he was. He was down by 4 rounds. But these guys, I guess they look at Sean O'Malley as their meal ticket. And Sean O'Malley's so sensitive, he can't be told anything that conflicts with his delusional confidence, even behind the scenes by some of his best friends. Again, setting him up for failure in the rematch, which again, they're now doing the same thing borderline afterwards. Not as bad though. Okay, not as bad. Let's continue a little bit more.
Okay, so they're counting those.
Yeah, they do. Still doing shit.
I mean, I hate to interrupt it again. They're counting those. Yet the guy on top raining down ground and pound, no matter how much you deem it insignificant, scores more than the guy laying on his back with another man in between his legs just pounding away. Okay? I know you're used to that, but that's the way a fight is scored. Let's carry on.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Here, and then Herb step in. Hey, stopping it.
Aljo was about to fly.
That's the moment. That's the moment they were talking about. So it doesn't really show the full thing, but if you look up here in the corner, literally he tries to cheap shot him because Merab thinks it's over because Herb says stop right here. Merab turns his back. Look at this. And look at O'Malley. Oh, he's laying there. Look, he was laying there like a little beta soy. They desperately wanted this cheap shot KO with 5 seconds on the clock. How embarrassing is this? I hope you guys can see this.
Stopping it.
And then Herb jumps in, even though he actually did land the cheap shot to the back of the head, by the way.
Aljo was about to get out of the cage.
He was. I didn't see that.
Oh, he was flared up. All right, round 3. I have it 1-1 going into the third. No bias.
Yeah, I'm sure. No bias. Anyway, a little bit more from this. Let's jump ahead. Just more delusion. Listen to it.
Ding, ding. Ooh, that was clean.
Fuck, dude. Come on, second shame.
Bink, another one. Smash.
Oh, that could have been the end, bro. If he took
Look, that could have been the end. He got dominated in the fight, and the people that are closest to him, the people he takes advice from, are saying, man, I think you won, man. You did so damn good when he got dominated. It's crazy to me.
a bad shot there. That's
Oh, God.
where he almost walked him into that. Like, ooh, his life flashed before his eyes right there.
I'll start picking it up, feeling it.
You can't say this shit ain't competitive.
Bro, what is this? I mean, the narrative is crazy. I might.
No, it isn't. You're just surrounded by yes men. And they're constantly talking about like, yeah, man, if he would have bid on that feint, the knee was there almost an inch. There's a left hand in the second fight that this guy constantly, I'm pointing to the screen, that this guy's constantly bringing up. A little bit more from this. Let's jump ahead a little bit. Let's jump ahead. Talks about Tim Welch talks about the corner advice.
A little lazy.
Lazy.
I didn't realize he was bleeding so bad here.
This motherfucker's holding on for dear life too, you know? Like he knows. Those numbers are crazy.
Well, I mean, they'll count this.
I know.
This is what I was getting shit for. And I'm not saying we're almost done with this. Like, hey, this fight's almost over. That's why I'm getting a lot of shit for saying that.
He deserved a lot of shit for saying that. It's going into the 5th round. Your champion fighter's down 4 rounds, and you're saying it's almost over, Suge. Just breathe, Suge. You're a champion, Suge.
No, they want you to say, pull your shit out of the fire.
Yeah, I just copied it.
Had Sean knocked him out, Tim, they wouldn't even be talking about it.
Well, he didn't. Well, he didn't. And then one last clip, because the whole entire end of this specific video is Sean claiming that he won the fight. I'm not going to show you all of it, but listen to this.
You on the machine, though, the cardio machine. I don't know how a judge gave him that fifth either.
Because the narrative around this fucking fight was I got my ass whooped. I'm gonna ask the UFC if they will please post that fight on YouTube. I won the 1st, 3rd, and 5th round. And I challenge all you fucking little dorks that think that I got my ass kicked to go and rewatch that fight. I know it's hard, non-biased, to rewatch it, whether you fucking hate me or love me.
He clearly lost, but he's surrounded by a bunch of people telling him that he won. How is he supposed to make the adjustments to win a rematch, an undeserved rematch that he should have never gotten, when he thinks he won? Because everyone that's close to him is telling him that he won. Luckily, they couldn't do it in the rematch because Merab went out there and finished him. So let's jump into this podcast. We have a bunch of clips from this podcast. First, we're going to start off with this guy, Schmitty here. I know he's the butt of a lot of jokes. Man, that left hand was this close. You almost They're talking about how he almost KO'd Merab in the rematch. Again, this is now after the rematch. Listen to this.
Sweating. So I was always, the sweating was good. Weight cut went good. Rehydration went good. Stomach felt good. Everything felt good. All signs led to a victory. But the universe had another plan for us, brother.
Yeah, Merab was better. You might not know that because after the first fight, everyone told you won. And they said how good you did. And they gave you a participation trophy for a teep kick. And then you said, oh, man, I'm going to stop jerking it, man. I'm going to stop smoking. And I'm going to get my labia fixed. It's injured. And I'm definitely going to win. I'm going to make all these excuses. And then I'm definitely going to win. I'm making excuses for a fight that I believe I won. And then he went out there and got embarrassed in the rematch. And that's not even their assessment on the rematch. That's not Tim's assessment. That's not this bald guy's assessment either. They're telling Sean, man, you did great, man. You looked great. You looked amazing. He got toyed with and embarrassed. Let's carry on.
Fight game, brother. And like we just watched, you were centimeters away from a knockout window.
That left hand almost landed. Yeah,
Dude.
but shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I
We
mean-
did just rewatch the fight. That was obviously the first time we rewatched it. The walkout was cool. I'll give myself that. I think I won the walkout.
Yeah, you won the walkout. You won the walkout. You better start grifting to right wingers, okay? You better start grifting the Trumpers because Merab shut your ass down. Anyway, you heard him, man, you were this close, that left hand. Luckily, Sean kind of shuts it down here. He's not really the delusional one. But when you have these people surrounding you, how are you supposed to get better? And then we're going to listen to more clips from this podcast, but since it already connects, I'm going to show you a clip. Oh, that's not it. I'm going to show you a clip from the video Tim Welch posted on his channel where he says the same thing. He says something similar here. Listen to this. Just listen to this. I mean, it's crazy.
Fucking go. Oh, just gutted. Just because we had such a good second round, and it showed the hard work we've been doing in that second round. Third round, just made a mistake. Just reacted a little bit too late on that front headlock choke. I think there was 20 seconds left, and then we have 10 minutes of fighting left. 10 minutes to try to catch this guy.
Is he not sounding like Chandler? Man, we had 30 seconds left, and then we would have had 10 minutes left to potentially win. And that 10 minutes, it would have been almost over, and he would have just breathed. And then it would have been like, oh, man, just breathe, Shug. And anyway, that wasn't even the clip I thought it was. Because he also talks about in this video, man, he was so close. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it. But in that video clip, he also says, man, that left hand came so close. Anyway, let's jump ahead in this podcast. It's similar to what Tim Welch was just saying there. Man, that round was so damn good. You did so good in the second round, which is just crazy.
Crazy. And that fight, I'm like, God damn it. We prepared the absolute best we could.
Yeah.
Second round, you did a great job wrestling more. And just like DC said, that felt like the tide was kind of turning towards us. But at the end of the day, I'm like, that Merab, I feel like was already a different Merab than we fought at the Sphere.
Yeah, and that original Merab that has now gotten better also whooped your ass while you didn't bother to get any better because you thought you had already won. So you're like, oh, let me just get my hip fixed. But I keep hearing narratives, and I heard this on the broadcast. I called this out on my live stream. I called this out on my post-fight. Yeah, O'Malley did so good in the second round, man. He was stuffing takedowns, bro. Merab never really actively tried for a takedown in that second round. Maybe once, maybe towards the end. What he does is he constantly has you thinking. He's constantly acting spazzy on the feet. He shoots a takedown, switches position, high crotch, this, double leg, single leg, this and that. Sometimes he doesn't even commit to them just because he wants to wear you down and get you thinking about the grappling. In the second round, Merab walked O'Malley down, throwing wild winging haymakers, and embarrassed him on the feet. But the commentary team was like, yeah, man, the momentum's shifting. If Merab is whooping you on the feet, you have a big issue. Now, granted, I understand the grappling sets up the striking, but Merab's striking, it's not that great. Let's be honest. It's improved. It's not that great. But here they are throwing a participation trophy party like, yeah, man, that second round, man. I mean, this is in the first, we're only 2 minutes in. Man, that left hand, you almost had him. Oh, man, that second round was so great. The tide was turning. No, it wasn't. The tide was not turning at all. Anyway, let's continue. Listen to more.
Yeah, absolutely.
The guy is a fucking tank.
He felt different.
He's a goddamn machine. He felt stronger. And from those front headlocks, usually in the last fight, front headlocks, he'd just get an S grip, pinch his elbows, and just kind of sit there and cook the clock a little bit. This time, as soon as he went front headlock, he even did it in the second round, I believe.
End of the first.
He goes high elbow. He goes front headlock to high elbow right away. The first round, you switched your ear really nicely, drove up and defended it. But the third round got stuck on bottom a little bit, and you felt like you were down there for so long.
I think 4.5 minutes, goddamn near.
Yeah, it was 4.5 minutes. He says 3.5 minutes here. He got taken down with like 20 seconds into the third round.
3, I think. At 3 minute mark, he took you down, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was like 4.5 minute mark. I don't know.
I believe it was 3 minute mark. But he went to that high elbow, and you rolled a little too early, and he had that power guillotine locked up, and then
that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote.
God, it was weird because I didn't feel like it was gonna be tight. Cause like I felt like he was gonna kind of stall in that position like he does, and it just it got tight fast. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't realize how much time was left. I wish I would have fucking tried to play, just been in my guard more instead of try to get up and make something happen. But that's all, no excuses. Had a great camp. Camp was fucking really good.
So I wanted to show that because I swear these guys are like listening to anti-Merab fan propaganda, and then they actually believe that it's true. Like, yeah, man, Merab just stalls, man. Merab isn't dangerous. Merab doesn't do any damage. Like, these are simply untrue. Now, is Merab a finisher? No, Merab is not a finisher. But to act like he's stalling and he's not constantly working is delusional. It's almost as delusional as not expecting double leg takedowns, which, you know, somebody on this couch did not expect double leg takedowns heading into the first fight, even though Merab has shot countless double leg takedowns in the past. Next clip, it just really shows the level of sycophancy that he has surrounded himself with. Listen to this, man.
Training camp, the sparring was good. Everything was excellent. Excelente.
And I'm grateful at the end of the day you're okay, because so many things can happen inside that cage. And so your life meter didn't go down at all. So that's all I'm grateful
Dude, not
for.
having to get surgery after the fight.
I know it's not that big of a deal. They're friends. He's like, yeah, man, you know, you could have just said you didn't. I'm just happy you didn't take any crazy damage. But like, I mean, this level of just riding another man is crazy. And there's more. Continue.
It's so like, oh my God. I don't know if that's why I still feel so fucking like happy and grateful. Like, I don't have to get surgery. After the last fight, that sucked, dude. Losing the belt and then having to get surgery right after, that was not good.
And then pretending it was the hip / the surgery that you needed was the reason you lost the first fight. Heading into the second fight, believing now, oh, I'm healthy now, I'm going to win because I already won the first one injured. It's just, again, setting yourself up for failure. Next clip we're going to jump ahead to. They're borderline pretending like he's winning here. They borderline pretended like he was winning the fight. Listen to this.
From that camp, that I'm like, that was so worth it. No matter win or lose, like I feel like I gained so much from that camp.
It showed, man. You were creating opportunities and moments with Merab that not a lot of people can do. Up until he just got you. But up until that moment, I thought it showed, obviously, your improvement.
I don't even think this dude believes it. I mean, what am I even supposed to say? They're borderline acting like he won that second round when he got dominated on the feet by Merab. Merab was walking him down, beating the dog shit out of him. O'Malley landed like one good shot the entire round. And here he is, man, that training camp really showed in there. Where? He got embarrassed in every single round. He got taken down 20 seconds into the third round and dominated for the entire round until he was submitted at the tail end of it. In no way, shape, or form did O'Malley show anything in his 100% healthy rematch, undeserved rematch, that showed me if they fought 150 times that O'Malley would win at all. Anyway, I mean, I watched this entire podcast, so I'm going to show you a couple clips that I actually agreed with. I know this is kind of out of the ordinary here, but I actually liked hearing this. I think they train with Mario Batista. I'm tired of the Mario Batista slander. Listen to this.
Legit high-level guys, but I'm like, for these motherfuckers to count Mario out like that, I'm like, these guys, it just shows the lack of knowledge. Or they were just betting or thinking with their heart or their whatever. They just hated Mario. They all just band together and said, we're going to hate Mario. But I'm like, dude, he looked so fucking sharp.
He did.
That was
Moment of clarity here. These dudes were just hating on Mario and acting like he's not good. I've never understood that. Just because you don't like somebody means you have to pretend like they're not good and pick against them because you don't like them. Mario Batista, you know, I think he trains under Tim Welch. I'm not sure, but he definitely trains with them sometimes. Tim Welch might have a fighter underneath his banner or partially underneath his banner, depending, that could beat Merab. I'm not saying that he would, but it's not Sean O'Malley. It's Mario Batista. And I'm happy that they're defending Mario Batista. I'll play a little bit more.
such a sweet performance by Mario.
Oh, bro, I don't get it either, and I don't get still why the UFC didn't give an interview after. You just beat a former world champion who's 20.
They didn't give him an interview?
I didn't know that either.
And he pieced his ass up. Like, he made it look like it wasn't even on his level.
Facts. Mario destroyed Patchy Mix. Everyone was hyping up Patchy Mix. I'm hardcore, man. I watch Bellator, man. Patchy Mix is so good, man. He's going to whoop Mario, man. And Mario exposed him and brutalized him and should have staked his claim as #1 contender. But instead, he gets no post-fight interview, and they're pushing bummy-ass one-fight win streak Corey Sandhagen, who's literally going to get dominated by Merab, into a potential title shot. What an embarrassment that is. Anyway, next clip. Let's jump ahead. We're soon getting to the Umar clip, which I think is the funniest clip of the whole podcast. He's saying, like, I'm going to return in like 6-7 months, and they're like sitting here like nodding along like, yeah, man, you got to stay active, man. What? That's active? fighting like once a year, damn near.
Division's gonna play out over the next few months. We'll see where it goes. December seems like it would make sense for me to get back in there. 6-7 months.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, hey, you're going to be hungry to get in there by January at least.
I don't think there's anything that O'Malley could say that these guys would disagree with. O'Malley could be like, yeah, man, I really want to get in there next week against Umar Nurmagomedov. Never mind. I think they would disagree with that one potentially. But you get my point. It's like no matter what he says, but they're acting like he's active because he wants to fight in 7 months potentially.
Oh,
By
yeah.
January at least, get in there and get it back.
Dude, it's June, July, August, September, October, November, December. What am I gonna fucking do for 7 months?
Yeah,
Sit around,
exactly.
fucking play with my wiener. Don't do that anymore. So
Yeah.
I couldn't believe how when I said I'm getting off all that shit, I'm no more distractions. I couldn't believe how big of a storyline that was around this fight. I guess it's like, what else are they gonna do? We fought 9 months ago. He dominated the fight, and most
Look, dominated. He went like this. Dominated. Yeah, he did dominate you. You should have known that. Your team should have told you that. Listen, Sean. Listen, Suge. Not only do you got to breathe, Suge. Not only do you have to be a warrior, Suge. We have to get significantly better if we want to beat Merab because he whooped you the first time like a dog.
like that was kind of the. So I guess that makes sense. They kind of took all that, but
Yeah, they took all the excuses that you threw out there. Your hip, the sphere lights, your back, whatever the hell it was. You're jerking it, whatever. And they took that because they needed a reason that something would be different in a rematch. Well, the only thing that was different is you got finished. Anyway, next clip we're going to jump to. This is the funniest. This is the clip that made me want to make this podcast because it just goes to show how delusional some of these guys that he's surrounded with. Tim Welch wasn't really that bad. I already showed you the other clip. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. I already showed you this other clip. It's not the worst I've seen. Seems like he's accepting it a little bit, but they're still acting like, oh, man, if that left hand would have landed, this and that would have landed. Man, you got so much better the second round. The momentum was going your way. This is crazy. If this bald guy actually believes this, I mean, it's just crazy. Listen to this.
But you just saying you like 3 rounds too. I think Umar's a perfect matchup. And I know people don't like that because he's another grappler. But I do think, and it showed, I think you've improved enough to where I think you'd be able to handle his grappling. And I think you would knock Umar out. And that's a...
Bro, first off, this level of dick eating is crazy. But the funniest part, and the reason I keep accidentally open this Nate Diaz tab here that I have open, is because watch Sean O'Malley, man. He just changes the topic. He doesn't even want to hear about this. Listen to this.
Bigger name. When it comes to Figgy just lost his last fight too.
I wonder if Figgy.
Right?
Yeah, Corey just beat him.
And so Umar lost his last fight. Between those two, I'd rather you get the win over a Nurmagomedov name like that. And I totally think you would starch Umar.
Bro, I know some people think, oh, Joey, you love the Muslim fighters. You're a Nurmagomedov simp. No, I just think this is funny. Objective analysis makes this funny. Would O'Malley Umar be a fun, interesting matchup? Could O'Malley clip him on the feet potentially? Umar is an elite striker, just like O'Malley. And Umar also has elite grappling that he can fall back on if he's losing on the feet. And this guy's like, yeah, you just got dominated by Merab. Why don't you fight Umar? And listen to Sean O'Malley's response. And I don't think Tim really says anything. That shows you at least they're not that delusional.
Yeah, I mean, Umar's fucking super. Everybody in the top 10, top 15 is so skilled.
I think he is ranked 6.
Yeah,
What's Umar?
I'm not ranked 6.
Umar is ranked 3.
No,
I think
It's
you
nice.
want
I don't even.
There's
It's nice to not think about a fight right now because I do want to just chill for a few weeks, and it's way better to not have like, okay, this is who. I don't even if UFC said, hey, I think we know what we're gonna do. It's like, I don't even want to know right now. Just let me chill for 5. But Lil Wayne, suppose.
Bro brought up Umar Nurmagomedov. He said, Lil Wayne, man. I think he mentioned me, man.
Yeah.
Name drop Sugar Shane and
So sick, dude.
Yeah, that's so sick, bro. This dude reminds me of Jonah Hill from This Is the End. Man, you got the sickest references, Suge. Nobody has your types of references, Suge, man. We just tight. I like weed. Yeah, Suge wouldn't hurt a fly, man. Suge wouldn't hurt a fly. Tim had nothing to say about Umar. Because they don't even want to start that narrative. Imagine he's like, yeah, I want Umar next. Even though they're bluffing, all of a sudden the fans are going to start pushing for it, which makes the UFC want to book it. But yeah, next clip we're going to show. It just goes to show these guys are staring in the mirror, just jerking it, man. I don't know if it's all these ginger dudes, and I get it. They got to believe in themselves. But this is just, I mean, they got to do, O'Malley's got to jump around to different camps, man, if he ever wants to be champion again, which I don't think he will be.
He's just cool to be around, huh? Being around fight week, he's a funny fucker.
Yeah, I mean, our whole team, I'm like, Jesus Christ, we have the best fucking team around us, because it's like a lot of these coaches, you never know, and then a lot of these coaches, they're broke asses, so they need money, so you don't know what they're there for, and they're have issues. Like, all our coaching staff have their own businesses.
Yeah.
They're smart, mature dudes that have been our mentors for so long. Yeah. It's like the best fight team.
Yeah, no fight.
Didn't show at 316. I'll tell you that much. I'll just leave it at that. Couple more clips we have from this. Look, I don't want to say this is the worst. It's really not the worst, but dude, you're a couple days removed from getting dominated by Merab, and this is the type of shit you're saying, man. Listen to this. Listen to this.
And then you're out there with the song going on.
I mean, in there, I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out. I still know I can beat Merab. Like, there's still, call it delusional, call it whatever. That's how I got to where I'm at right now. I still know I could beat Merab. There's still.
If Merab wanted to treat O'Malley like Conor McGregor treats women in a hotel room, he could. And I understand he's not going to say, what would he expect him to say, man? I would lose to him every time. No, he should be like, yeah, I'm gonna get better, and I hope Merab is still the champion by the time I get my next undeserved title shot. Not, yeah, I know I would beat Merab, man. I know I can KO him. I know I can clip him. Let's continue.
Like, Randy Couture versus Chuck Liddell. Chuck lost what? The first two?
Rampage versus Vanderlei.
Yes,
Rampage versus Vanderlei. But again, dude, just like that, it just exposes more like, hey, what we need to fucking grind at.
It's not been a secret too. It's like, dude,
So there you go. You actually got some sense there. It just exposes what we need to get better at. You should have done it after the last fight. And also, one of the main things is really just the fact they even took this rematch. It goes to show they are nothing but yes men. But we'll break that down at the end of the video, which I only got a couple more clips. So the next clip I'm going to show you, again, man, I swear, the dudes that O'Malley is hanging around, I think they all look at him as a meal ticket. Maybe I'm dead wrong, and I could be. But listen to this off the camera dick eating, man. Listen to this. And it gets just worse and worse, man. It gets worse and worse with the bald guy Schmitty.
Butterfly effect of you putting yourself in that immense pressure does for us doing, again, our more simple lives, but how much inspiration that gives us to go forward and do great things.
Because that does cross my mind. Like, when I do, like, all right,
man, you're such an inspiration for us in our simpleton lives. And it gets worse.
Book another fight. Like, what goes through my mind is like all the work that's coming in, but it's like, I know, like you said, the butterfly effect that this performance, this camp, this work can inspire someone, young kid, to see it. Like you were saying,
I was inspired by it, man. I wanted to start smoking weed, and I'm gonna get some tube socks with like marijuana leaves on it. I might even get some cornrows or corn rolls. I don't know which one it is. I might even get a face tattoo. But listen to this last piece, man. Listen to this last piece.
This kid at the fight just crying that I lost. Like, the fact that I can give someone that emotion is
that was Tim. All right, that was this kid did not exist. That was Tim. Maybe it was Michael Chandler. I don't know.
It makes all that worth it.
You're a hero to kids, man. They look up to you and they go, oh my God, Sean O'Malley, what you are and everything you do. You're a hero.
Yeah, Brian Callen sent me a cool message too. So
I mean, did you? You're a hero, man. You're a hero. You got preferential treatment by Daddy Dana White. You're such a fucking hero. I mean, what a joke that is. And then one last clip before I wrap this up. Man, that left hand was so close, man.
On to the next. Like, let's go. Let's on to the next one.
Yeah, it's just fucking MMA at the absolute highest level.
Yeah.
Game of inches, dude. Go back and watch that sequence.
That left hand I almost landed would have been.
And that would have changed everything. And then that's the sequence that gets you down. And it's like, up before that, dude, you were doing so good.
Second round, I didn't get taken down once. Great round. First round, I got taken down at the end of the round, more towards the end of the round.
It was what
we were executing the game plan. We were doing
first?
we were doing what we needed to do. And then he just did what he needed to do. And all is fair in love and war. Is that what they say?
One thing I will say is it didn't seem like Tim was as delusional. He's like looking at this bald dude over here like he's a fucking idiot. But again, they surrounded the TV and they're like, man, that left hand, man, it was inches away, man. If that left hand would have landed on Merab's chin, and maybe we were in a totally different arena during a totally different month, during a totally different day, and the weather was a little bit sunnier, and there was a different song playing through the arena intercoms, and there was different fans there, and Merab was a different fighter, and maybe I was a different fighter. It would have been a whole different fight, man. Just that left hand, man. If that chin would have been there on the end of that left hand, man, you never know what could have happened. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. And what I want to wrap this up with is the UFC and also these yes men borderline ruined O'Malley's career, okay? And it's not completely ruined yet. That's a bit of an exaggeration. That's a bit of hyperbolic statements there. But they should have known, you know what? We don't want this undeserved title shot. Give us another fight or two to get better, and then let's fight Merab again after earning a potential another title shot. Even though you didn't earn your first one, you got a brutal robbery win over Piotr Jan, and then they set Aljo up for failure. But they should have known, well, wait a second. Merab ragdolled you like a bitch in the first fight. It's probably not best to sit out, get surgery, and then get a rematch against the guy who just dominated you. Let's wait. Maybe wait another year for a title shot, but let's get another win underneath our belt, like against Rob Font. But no, the UFC offered him this undeserved title shot, and they're all like, yeah, man, Suge, you got it. You got it, Suge. Now, as long as Merab is champion, where does Sean O'Malley go? You guys tell me. He would get his ass took at 145, okay? So where does he go now? I guess they're going to sit around and pray that Merab loses to Umar or Sandhagen, I guess, then maybe get one more win and call for a title shot, which is a complete and utter embarrassment. But I think the first thing he needs to do is wake up and stop being so damn delusional and stop listening to all these yes men eating his ass left and right. Like, yeah, man, you're so damn good. You almost had him with that left hand. That second round was not good. He got embarrassed on the feet by Merab. That was the most embarrassing round of Sean O'Malley's career. It's just facts. It's just facts. And I think surrounding yourself with all these dudes who are just slobbing all over you because you're their meal ticket, I don't think it's a recipe for success, especially when you're already a spoiled little brat in the UFC's eyes. They're just pampering you and babying you like a little baby. So that's it. We went through the podcast. Oh, I forgot to show you guys. I didn't even get into it. The whole Umar thing, when he said, oh, Little Wayne, when Schmitty was saying, you should fight Umar, man. I think you starch Umar. And O'Malley's just like, oh, Little Wayne. It reminded me of this clip.
So he needs at least a couple
No,
years of more fights?
Hamza, if you in there, don't be a bitch. My boy's right here. Fight him. We're talking my name.
I don't think I ever reacted to this clip ever. Yeah, my boy will fight you, Hamzat. Look at That's what this podcast reminded me of when this dude said, you should fight Umar. I think you'd starch him. He's like, yeah, Little Wayne mentioned my name, man. Little Wayne mentioned my name. Man, if that left hand was there, in all seriousness, man, if that left hand would have landed, Merab had no chin. Merab had worse cardio, worse striking, worse grappling, was a little bit weaker. And maybe O'Malley hit the weight room a little bit. Maybe he could have actually improved, but instead he just stared. I don't believe his no jerking in the lead up to this fight. I think he stared in the mirror, jerking off nonstop. I'm the best. Rose Namajunas style. I'm the best. I already beat Merab once. And that's what led to him getting dominated and finished by Merab in the rematch. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Am I being too harsh? I'm genuinely curious. Let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching.